Hello everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafty Me. I am Charlena and today I want to show you a few items that I made with the yarn that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I did make a short little video of my Dollar Tree yarn haul. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and check that out. But I want to start off with these little chicks. They are adorable. I will try to link the pattern down below that I used to make these chicks, but they was made with this Just Chanel yarn, just in the color yellow. I did pick up several colors of this particular yarn. These are actual egg covers. I made them to cover just the little plastic Easter eggs that you get. I got these Easter eggs also from the Dollar Tree, and I wanted to make a couple of little chicks just as different little decorations to put around my daughter's backyard for my granddaughter's Easter egg hunt. So I made 3 of these chicks with the yellow. So these are the 3 chicks I made with the yellow. I am going to make 2 more chicks. Also with the Just Chanel yarn, I made these cute little like monster balls. They have the little rattler inside. I think these are so adorable. I was able to get from 1 spool of yarn 2.5 chicks, and from 1 spool of the yarn I was able to make 3 balls of each color. So I was able to get 3 of the grays, 3 of the whites. So 1 spool makes 3 of these little monster balls. The young lady who designed this pattern, she says her daughter calls them bubble balls. Bubble balls? Bubble monsters. I'm going to link the video. But yeah, I made those chicks and these balls. Like I said, I did manage to make 3 from 1 spool of yarn. So I made all of these. I also thought that they will probably do very well making different little scrunchies. So I did that as well. I just made these with regular little hair elastics, the Goody hair elastics, also purchased from the Dollar Tree. I made several of these. One spool of 1 skein of the yarn will make plenty of these little scrunchies. I didn't even put a dent in the yarn for the ones that I made. These I made with more stitches, these with less. So these are a little flatter than these, and these are actually a little more scrunched up. But I made several of these. These are just a few of the ones that I made. I made so many. I only made them in black because that's honestly the only color scrunchie that I would actually use. So I used the black Just Chanel yarn to make these scrunchies. Of course, I used the gray to make the gray, the white, and the yellow. Another thing that I made with the Just Chanel yarn, even though he's not finished yet, is this cute little teddy bear. Also, I found this particular pattern on YouTube. I just followed along. Mine's right now does not have the little snout or the nose because I did not have the safety nose to add to it. So I'm waiting to get that. I just ordered some off of Amazon and hopefully that will work out well. So I made this cute little teddy bear with that particular Chanel yarn. And then also because I have larger eggs, I was just testing out a little pattern to see if I could make something similar to this, big enough to fit the larger Easter eggs also from the Dollar Tree. Yes, I wanted to make something a little larger to be able to fit over the larger eggs. As you can see, these are significantly bigger. I could actually put this little egg inside this particular egg. So I wanted something that would be large enough to also cover these eggs. And I was just playing around with this little pattern. Even though I know rabbits do not lay eggs, I wanted to see if I could have something different than the chicks. But so I made this little rabbit. This was just a test pattern. As you can see, I'd used double crochets for that. But I did make another one with some bigger, floppier ears and single crochet to fit the eggs. See, the eggs are just stuck in the bottom. And they actually do just, they do sit up. See, they sit up like so. I will remake this. I'm probably going to just take the ears off and put a face on them and turn them into other little chicks. So I'm going to make a few of these to go over the larger eggs. And yeah, so I also made this little spiral blanket. I made this to go inside my granddaughter's Easter basket. So it's just a spiral blanket. All I did was some double crochets in a regular spiral panel. Still got some stuff to weave in. And I did not choose the color block. I just spiraled it out until the colors, it does lay flat, but to get it in the camera is kind of hard to get it to lay properly right now. But yeah, I just, as you can see, when I ran out of the white, I added the yellow, so on and so forth. When I ran out the yellow, I just added the pink. When I ran out of pink, I added the purple. And when I ran out of purple, I added the gray. These are each one skein of each color. I will show you what I plan on doing with this. Okay, so I did receive this. It's just an old school basket, and I really liked it, and it was just going to be discarded, so I decided I would take it and use it for my granddaughter's Easter basket. And I actually made this here as the lining for the basket. I made this as the lining for the basket so that I can actually, you know, decorate her basket. Yeah, so I have to actually fix it how I want it to go in there, but I will probably make a video also of me making her Easter basket. I've always made my children's Easter baskets myself. I prefer to add what I think I would like in the basket and things that I know that they would like, as opposed to buying those pre-made baskets. So if you turn it to the side, it does just hang over the side. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with this particular piece, with this particular thing that I made. And I also feel like after Easter is over, this is something she can use as a little blanket for her babies, for her little baby dolls, because she does like to wrap her dolls up, put her dolls down for a nap, all that good stuff. You know how it is with little girls. And I figured she can use this as a little blanket for her baby dolls after we are done with the basket. So that is basically all I made with this particular yarn. Like I said, this is a Just Chanel yarn. So I made, let's see, I made 3 of these little monster balls out the white. I got 3, I actually have more than 3. I had so much fun making these. These were so easy to make, and they are just so cute. So I made these little monster balls. I made also the little chicks. I made the little chicks to put around the yard for the egg hunt. I made these little bunnies also, but I'm going to make them, I'm going to remake them and make them into little chicks instead, because I did pick up quite a bit of yarn. And I made the little teddy bear, who currently does not have a nose, but we're going to fix that. We're going to give him a snout. And I made quite a few of the little scrunchies. I made them in 2 types, some that are very, very tightly, the ones that are kind of very tightly, so that they have like the little ruffles and little ridges, and then I made some that was just flat. So that's what I made. Oh, here goes another little monster ball. That's what I made with the Just Chanel yarn. Now I'm going to show y'all what I made with some of the other yarn that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. You know, I also purchased some of their Just Yarn Premier Chunky. And with the Just Yarn Premier Chunky, I made this little rabbit also from a tutorial I found here on YouTube. I think he's absolutely adorable. I'm going to try to do something to fix the ears so that they kind of stay down a little bit. But he is so stinking cute. He's so cute. So I made him, of course, for my granddaughter to go in her Easter basket. And this is what I made with the Just Yarn Chunky. This one is in the color white, just white. I don't think I said in the last video, but I purchased this Just Yarn Chunky in white and also in a cream. I think it was a cream color. But yeah, so this took just one skein of the Just Yarn Chunky. I didn't need to use any more. It was just enough really to make this entire rabbit. So I made this little bunny with the Just Yarn Chunky. Okay, and with the Just Yarn Worsted Weight, I did make a few projects. But the main one that I want to share with y'all is the Malaminted blanket that I'm following along with Jada and Stitches here on YouTube. She has a Malaminted blanket going on. So every month you do a different panel. So far, this is what we have. It's pretty long. It's pretty long. It's actually really long. Like this was folded over twice. I have my little stitch markers to keep track because if I'm not mistaken, it's 78 rows for every one. And I have decided that I am going to do all my borders in this particular gray, which is just called ash. This is the color ash. I did purchase 4 skeins of this yarn when I went to the Dollar Tree, but I have since purchased more because I want to make sure that I have enough yarn to do the borders for every strip. I'm not really sure yet if I'm going to continue on and add like 2 of these after I finish the 12, if I'm going to add another set. I'm not really sure also about the colors that's going to be used here. When I went back to get more of the gray, I did find this pretty gold. So right now I have the pink, this gold, and this teal green. And if I happen to come along with find any more colors along the way, I'm going to just add those colors and continue going with that. But I am going to use the ash to do the border. So these are 3 strips. You make the middle strip, and then you add the border. So this is a border. And as you make the strips, you connect them. So this was January strip. This was this was January strip. This is February, and this is the March strip. So next month I will add the April. But yeah, this is how it's coming out so far. I actually do really like it. I do think though that once it's completely finished by the end of the year, I am going to put a backing on it. Like I'm going to put some type of material on the back because their yarn from the Dollar Tree is a little lighter than the average worsted weight yarn. So I want it to be a little heavier. I want to be able to wrap up with it on the couch and be nice and cozy. I do get very cold very easy, so I want to use this to just wrap up with. And I've actually never made a blanket for myself. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity to make a blanket for me that's only for me. And yeah, so this is it. I'm going to follow along with the Malaminted blanket for the year with Jada and Stitches here on YouTube. So this is my take on that. I also wanted to test the Addi. I also wanted to test out my Addi machine with the yarn from the Dollar Tree. So I did make this little beanie. I unfortunately had something come up and something I needed to do. So I left my beanie on my Addi machine, and I shouldn't have done that because it did leave these marks in my Addi where the yarn was still attached to the Addi. So I'm probably just going to frog this out. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to retry it. I'm going to do it again and see how it comes out. I will try to make a video on me making the beanie. I want to make a beanie. I also want to make a scarf. When I make the hat and the scarf for myself, I actually want to mix together this particular yarn and this and do it as a two-strand thing, so I can have two colors. We'll see how that work out. Yeah, so I'm going to more than likely just take this out and reuse this yarn for something else. But it did go through the Addi with no problem at all. No drop stitches, no snagging, nothing. I actually did really like how it walked through, how it went through, how it worked up. I don't think it would have been an issue had I not left it on the Addi. And I did leave this particular project on the Addi for maybe 2 days, a day and a half before I went back to it. I've never done that before, so I didn't know that this would be the result. So for you, so you know what not to do. Do not leave your project on your Addi if you don't want the yarn to stretch. Learn from my mistake. So that is everything that I made from the yarn at the Dollar Tree store. I'm having a really good time working up projects with the yarn that I found. I'm actually having a really good time finding projects to make with this yarn that actually works well. They all work up very well, very easy, relatively easy. The only negative thing I may have to say, other than the yarns are a little lighter, like they're thinner than the yarns you will buy in any craft store, is that Just Chenille yarn. Yeah, all I will say is that the Just Chenille yarn does not like to be frogged. It does not like to be taken out. Whatever you choose to make with this yarn is going to be what it is. It does this like shedding at the ends, so it will just continue to come off. I don't know if you can see. The ends will continue to come off, so as you're trying to pull it out, it will start to shed. But once it's in the project, it is what it is. It's not going to mess up from there. And if you happen to like get it into a tight spot, which is normally if you're crocheting, is something that's going to happen. It is going to do this type of, well, that's not it. Let's see if I can work something up real quick to let you see what I'm talking about. But all in all, it's a very nice yarn. It works up very, very easy. It doesn't really give you any problem. It doesn't catch. It slides on and off the needle with no issues at all. It's not hard to see your stitches. It's a very, very nice yarn to work with. It really, really is. It's just that shedding thing that it does. It can make a mess if you are attempting to pull it out. So just a little something there. But when you take it out, it does this split. And I don't know if you can see that, but right here where it's no longer very smooth, it has this line where the yarn had been worked up already. So that it does, but you can still use it even after it does that little separating kind of thing. It's still, when you work it up, it just kind of like blends all together. And you definitely have to weave in the ends for sure and make sure that once it's in, because this will just continue to unravel and come off if you're not careful. So that's the only negative thing I may have to say about the yarn, is the Just Chenille yarn does not like to be frogged out. Outside of that, all the yarn I've got from the Dollar Tree, it's really nice. It's just a little thinner than the average worsted weight of 4-weight or bulky yarn. It's just a little thinner, and that the Chenille sheds. So that's it. That's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed all my makes from my Dollar Tree. As I continue to make projects, I will definitely share those projects with you. And it was great talking with y'all. Please stick around to see what I make next. Talk to you later. Bye.